A new era of uncertainty. The US-Canada border, once a symbol of friendship and cooperation, is facing unprecedented challenges. Former President Donald Trump's return to the White House has cast a long shadow over the relationship between these two North American neighbors. His rhetoric and policies have ignited tensions, raising concerns about the future of the border itself. For decades, the US-Canada border has been a peaceful boundary, a testament to the strong ties between the two nations. However, the political climate has shifted dramatically, leaving many to wonder if this era of amicable coexistence is coming to an end. The very notion that the border, once considered sacrosanct, could be redrawn or its permeability altered has become a topic of discussion, reflecting the level of anxiety gripping the nation. Fanning the flames of discord, Donald Trump's approach to international relations has been marked by a disregard for diplomatic norms, often choosing to bypass traditional channels and protocols. His penchant for confrontational tactics has not only strained relationships with adversaries but also with long-standing allies. Canada, despite being a close ally and neighbor, has not been immune to this approach. The relationship between the two countries has seen significant strain. One of the most striking examples of this was Trump's labeling of Canada as a national security threat, a move that shocked many. This designation was used to justify imposing tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, industries that are vital to both economies. Beyond tariffs, Trump has also made dismissive and insulting remarks about Canada, often in the context of trade negotiations, further souring the relationship. These remarks, coupled with aggressive trade policies, have created a climate of uncertainty and tension. Such language, broadcast on the world stage, has undoubtedly damaged the relationship, making it difficult for both sides to find common ground. This has created a sense of distrust and resentment that will be difficult to overcome, affecting not just political leaders but also the citizens of both nations. The border, once a symbol of friendship and cooperation, has become a point of contention, reflecting the broader political tensions. This physical manifestation of political tensions has come to define the US-Canada relationship in the Trump era, leaving a legacy that will take time and effort to mend. Fault lines. The Trump administration's policies have exacerbated existing tensions and ignited new ones along the US-Canada border. Trade disputes, particularly the imposition of tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, have been a major source of friction. Adding fuel to the fire are disagreements over environmental policies. The Trump administration's decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement on climate change was met with widespread condemnation in Canada, a country deeply committed to environmental protection. Furthermore, territorial disputes, particularly in the maritime boundary known as the Gray Zone, have gained renewed attention. These disputes underscore the fragility of the US-Canada relationship in the Trump era, highlighting the challenges of maintaining a cooperative and mutually beneficial relationship in the face of divergent political agendas. The economic toll. The economic fallout from the strained US-Canada relationship has been significant for both nations, albeit with differing impacts. In Canada, the Trump administration's tariffs on steel and aluminum have dealt a blow to the manufacturing sector, resulting in job losses and factory closures. The tourism industry, a vital sector for both countries, has also been caught in the crossfire. Canadians, once frequent visitors to the US, are increasingly choosing to vacation elsewhere, citing concerns about border crossings, anti-Canadian sentiment, and the unpredictable political climate. While the U.S. economy is more diversified and less reliant on trade with Canada, it has not emerged unscathed. The economic consequences of the strained US-Canada relationship underscore the deep interdependence of the two economies. Section 5. Beyond dollars and cents. The social and cultural fabric unravels. The deterioration of US-Canada relations extends beyond the economic realm, fraying the social and cultural ties that have long bound the two nations. Heightened border security measures, including increased scrutiny, delays, and interrogations, have created a sense of unease and discouraged cross-border travel. The political climate in the U.S., particularly the divisive rhetoric and policies of the Trump administration, has also contributed to a growing sense of alienation among Canadians. This shift in sentiment is evident in the declining number of Canadians visiting the U.S., the cancellation of cross-border events and collaborations, and the growing popularity of alternative travel destinations. The social and cultural fabric that has long connected the two nations is unraveling, leaving behind a sense of loss and uncertainty. While the current tensions at the US-Canada border are unprecedented in recent memory, they are not entirely without historical precedent. The two countries share a long and complex history, marked by periods of cooperation and conflict. One notable example is the War of 1812, in which the U.S. invaded British North America, present-day Canada. In the late 19th century, the two countries were embroiled in a series of disputes over fishing rights in the Atlantic Ocean. More recently, the two countries have faced off over issues such as softwood lumber tariffs, cross-border water management, and the Arctic. Personal stories of uncertainty and fear. The impact of the strained U.S.-Canada relationship is most keenly felt at the individual level, where personal stories bring to life the human cost of political discord. These stories are not just about policy or politics, they are about real people whose lives have been disrupted in profound ways. Diana and Rick Bellamy, a Canadian couple who had visited the U.S. annually for decades, canceled their trip to Maine, citing concerns about border crossings and anti-Canadian sentiment. Their annual trips were more than just vacations, they were a cherished tradition, a time to reconnect with friends and family across the border. Jasmine Mooney, a Canadian citizen, endured a harrowing experience when she was detained for 12 days by U.S. border agents after attempting to visit a friend. Her story highlights the fear and uncertainty that many face when crossing the border, even for innocent reasons. Mike Sauer, a Canadian resident with family in the U.S., has avoided visiting his relatives due to concerns about being searched at the border for marijuana, which is legal in Canada but remains federally illegal in the U.S. His story underscores the complexities and contradictions in the laws governing the two countries. These personal stories illustrate the very real impact of the strained U.S.-Canada relationship on individuals and families. They remind us that behind every policy decision, there are human beings whose lives are affected in ways that are often overlooked. The emotional toll, the anxiety, and the disruption to daily life are all part of the broader narrative of this complex relationship. Section 8. Navigating the storm responses from Ottawa and Washington. The Canadian government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has faced the delicate task of navigating the turbulent waters of U.S.-Canada relations during the Trump era. Canada's response to the Trump administration's tariffs has been measured but firm. The Canadian government has imposed retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods, targeting products strategically to exert economic pressure while minimizing the impact on Canadian consumers. Beyond trade, Canada has also sought to diversify its economic and diplomatic relationships, reducing its reliance on the U.S. The U.S. response to Canadian concerns has been mixed, with the Trump administration largely dismissing Canadian concerns, viewing its relationship with Canada through the lens of transactional diplomacy. Section 9. The road ahead towards resolution or further entanglement. As this essay is being written in 2025, the future of the U.S.-Canada relationship remains uncertain. The dynamics between these two neighboring countries have always been complex, influenced by a myriad of factors ranging from economic interests to political ideologies. The Trump administration's policies have undoubtedly strained relations, creating a climate of distrust and uncertainty. These policies have led to increased border security measures and heightened tensions, affecting not just political relations, but also the lives of ordinary citizens who cross the border daily for work, family, or leisure. Whether this trend will continue, or whether the two countries can find a path back to a more cooperative and mutually beneficial relationship, remains to be seen. Diplomatic efforts and peace talks have been ongoing, but the road to reconciliation is fraught with challenges. Much will depend on the political climate in both countries, the willingness of leaders to prioritize diplomacy and compromise over confrontation, and the ability of citizens on both sides of the border to bridge the divides that have emerged in recent years. Community events and grassroots movements play a crucial role in fostering understanding and cooperation. The U.S. and Canada share a long history, a common language, and deeply intertwined economies. Trade between the two nations is substantial, with goods and services flowing freely across the border, benefiting both economies. The road ahead will undoubtedly be challenging, but the pursuit of a more positive and productive U.S.-Canada relationship is a goal worth striving for. With continued effort and goodwill, there is hope that the two nations can overcome their differences and build a future based on mutual respect and shared interests.